Overall, Minnesota was a more physical team.
I would agree.
They were the faster team. They were the sharper team. They executed at a high level. The penalties right now is just alarming right now all across the league. All across the league, flags everywhere. Flag this, flag that, flag this, flag that. College football, flag this, flag that. At some point, and I said this last week, and I mentioned this last week, we're going to have to start playing guys in the preseason. These starts, this sloppiness in the month of September, I know you're going to risk injuries or whatnot, but these guys need to get a quarter of football in. They are not buttoned up right now all over the place. Illegal formations, illegal shifts. You're not lined up right. False starts. I mean, oh, my gosh. It is all across football. College, high school, and pro.
That would require players to actually come into camp on time, right? So, like, I hear you, but...
Well, I don't care about those players.
What are you talking about?
Those players don't come. I need the whole team. It wasn't just those players making mistakes.
Has Trent been good? Has Trent been good the last 2 weeks?
Trent didn't allow a pass rush last week against the New York Jets. He had 33 pass blocks. Right. It didn't allow one pressure.
It came out of the game because he needed an IV.
Yeah, he was tired.
Okay.
George Kittle played it. He was in training camp and needed an IV.
Bonte,
he was in every day in training camp.
The data is out there. Trent had a bad game yesterday. He had a bad game yesterday.
You said 2 weeks. Last week against the New York Jets,
we're praising you. balancing out the 2 weeks. I don't think he played that well. And then I look at Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk has been on a milk carton. Last year, Bosa, same thing.
George Kittle literally participated in training camp and needed an IV. No.
You need to get into camp and play.
George Kittle needed an IV yesterday.
And he
was in training camp all season. He was in all the training camps.
George Kittle made an impact in that game. George Kittle was breaking tackles.
And he still needed an IV. All I'm saying is the overall team. It is the overall team needs to play. How about caping up?
You're caping up.
The damn preseason. The Rams, look at the Rams in the preseason. Out playing their guys are getting their ass kicked left and right and getting out physical. The entire league needs to reevaluate the way they approach the preseason. It ain't just Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams not playing well. There's guys who came. George Kittle or George Odom had a great camp, right? Great camp. Tig Brown had a great camp, right?
Making $1 million.
Tig Brown had a great camp.
You for extra money. I'm sorry. No, there's no excuses. When you hold out and you ask them, it's the same thing we did to Bosa. You got to be ready to play. I'm sorry. Like, it's okay.
Those two guys are the only ones making mistakes.
No, but they're making big coin.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the team needs to play preseason.
Of course.
So get guys in the camp. Stop it.
But they also need to show up. And this goes, it's not just the player. This is also management's style of how they sign people. When you wait till the end, there's enough data out. We wait till the end, and there's a depreciating effect on the entire roster getting ready for the regular season. It's inarguable.
Last year, they started 5-0. Nick Bosa held out of camp.
Wasn't good.
But they started off 5-0, and it was no problem.
I don't know.
Whatsoever. Nobody was talking about it.
Bosa wasn't good.
He's not good right now.
Well, Bosa's a lot better than what I've seen from Brandon Aiyuk.
What did Nick Bosa do yesterday?
Bosa had 2 sacks, one on third down that got them off the field.
Sam Darnold literally ran into the guy. Sam Darnold was running around the pocket and literally ran into the guy. And they're running at Nick Bosa left and right.
And he climbed up.
These teams got no problem running at Nick Bosa.
The reality is
being fair. No. What I'm saying is this whole team is sloppy. Illegal penalties, McKivitz, everything.
Both are true.
So
Both are true. The team was sloppy, and their top dogs who held out don't look great right now.
Oh, my gosh. Let's go to let's go to Zach. Zach in Redwood City. Zach, what's happening?
Happy birthday, Bonte. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. So, first of all, I got to say, how about them Hoosiers, man? How about them Hoosiers?
Come on, Zach, man. Zach, let's go. Let's go.
Today.
No, not today, man.
No, I know. All right. Here's my point. I was driving back from L.A. watching the game, right? Cruising down I-5, and I am very triggered with Brandon Aiyuk because, look, you hold out that long and you do all that social media BS stuff, and you're going to be jogging off the field, as Sasky said. Like, come on. Can we just agree that that's not okay for a guy that we're paying $30 million to? Like, I understand the rust because he held out the whole training camp over a couple $1 million, so to say. I don't even know, man. But, like, that's not okay in my book. And the other thing I wanted to say is, man, we paid a lot of money for Javon Hargrave. And I got to say, that guy Pace out of Cincinnati on Minnesota, he probably played better than him yesterday. So that's all I got to say, guys.
The Hargrave deal is not a good deal. He had one play where he broke through and tried to sack Sam Darnold. Instead, was it Gross Matos? I forget how to pronounce his name.
Peter Gross Matos.
He ended up cleaning up the sack. That was the only play from Hargrave yesterday. He has been very poor in terms of the signing. It has not worked out.
Let's go to Rob is here, Bruno. Rob, what's happening?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, we gotta stop this, man. Purdy threw 2 interceptions. I counted 2 more drops. You know what I'm saying? And Nick Bosa, you blame Wilkes all last year. You're not really making plays. Like you said, that one sack he had a legitimate sack. The other sack, Donald ran right into him. Darcy threw the ball away a long time. He ran right into him. So at the end of the day, Bosa not making. Teams are running at him. They've been doing it since he came in the league. So I'm like, you paid him all his money. He's not impacting the game. If you watched Mason Crosby versus Baltimore yesterday,
oh my God,
he was a beast.
Possessed.
You can see it with your eyes. I watched the game. He was a beast. Bosa, he disappears. He don't make no plays in the fourth quarter. When we need a play, he didn't make no plays in the match. Just like in the Super Bowl. When he needed to stop, he didn't make no plays.
Rob, real quick, when was the last time? Because in the Defensive Player of the year, he did make plays in the fourth quarter. I can't remember the last time he closed out a game in the fourth quarter with some sort of big-time play. I can't remember. Maybe there was one. Someone will remind me. I will agree with you there.
Yeah, and I just feel like when teams are, even with the Niners, they're running the football, and they're running directly at Bosa. And that's what they're doing.
I see the same thing you see, Rob, from number 97. So whether you came to camp or not, the team's not playing well. The team's not playing well. And my whole point was the league needs to reevaluate the way they attack the preseason. Because half the league, I'm seeing nothing but yellow flags on the ground. Everywhere. Houston, Chicago, yesterday in Minnesota, New England. See, I'm seeing flags everywhere at every level. And I'm saying to myself, boy, September football, has it ever been this sloppy? Has it ever been this sloppy? I don't know. But look, Trent, there's no doubt Trent had a bad game yesterday. Coming off a good game against the New York Jets. Everybody said, oh, Trent's great. He had a bad game yesterday. There's no doubt. Aiyuk has yet to come in 2024, which we kind of knew was going to happen after missing training camp. We knew this was going to happen. Is he making excuses? I don't think so. I'm not going to make excuses for him. He needs to get ready. He needs to roll. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, and AC1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station, always live on free Odyssey app. Aiyuk is getting no pass from me. He knows what it is. The risk you take in doing this with the fan base and holding out a training camp, you're going to get ridiculed. That's why last week when he didn't come up with the catch, I was first, hey, whether you make $500,000 or $30 million, you got to make that play. You got to make that play for Brandon Aiyuk. So nobody's caping up for these guys. I don't know what you're talking about. What I'm talking about is this team is not buttoned up right now, not scrimmaging to the Saints, limited snaps in the preseason, and all of a sudden you got all these illegal procedures. You're blowing timeouts. You look a step slow, and that's from guys who are in camp. So I don't know.
Debo looks great right now. I think Debo's had 2 really good games. I mean, it's obviously a small sample size. And I think that Kittle's looked pretty good yesterday. But again, even he had to come out of the game because of an IV situation. And then he came back and he made plays in that one. I do want to get into the Purdy game on the other side. I don't think it was his greatest. I also don't think it was his worst performance. He made some plays, but like, where are we on Brock Purdy? As you watch Baker Mayfield, who signed a 3-year, $100 million deal quietly this offseason, lead his team to a huge victory against the Detroit Lions. There is a Purdy conversation to a degree. Well, I thought it was an okay game.
Listen, instead of blaming everybody and blaming camp and blaming the holdouts, let's just admit, Minnesota kicked the 49ers' ass yesterday in all aspects of the game. Special teams, offense, defense, the trenches, coaching, they were better yesterday. So instead of pointing the finger at every player and saying this guy is this and this guy is that, they got out-coached, out-hit, out-physicaled, out-schemed, outplayed. And they lost yesterday. Is it the end of the season? No. But there's a bigger conversation here. Without McCaffrey for the next at least 4, and I don't think he's coming back at all. That's just me. If he comes back, I'll be surprised. But how do you navigate now without CMC? How do you navigate now without Chris McCaffrey? Because we felt his impact yesterday. Oh, buddy, did we?